Welcome to Crotoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bree.
And this video is way too long for not having alcohol with me. We're doing the Skullovich today. The Skullovich with a painting challenge. Here's our wet palette from the last video we did. You'll notice I primed in black to make this harder on myself. We need a black, a white, a yellow, a red, a blue. It does not matter what brand. It does not matter what shade. I took a mid-tone kind of on all of them. That's all we're using today, guys. This is the 5-color challenge. Skull is orange. Let's make some orange. We got this red. I don't even know what brand of red it's called. I mean, I know it's a Vallejo. I just don't know what the name of the red is. I don't care. It doesn't matter. So we got our red. We got our yellow. And we're going to mix them. We're looking for orange. And I discovered something making this video.
What's that?
The video view of the orange and the real human people view of the orange is drastically different.
Oh.
But I will say this. Equal parts red and yellow with these midtones did not work. It was still super freaking red. So we're just going to go back and we're just going to keep putting yellow in. Guys, I use a ton of paint in this video. This was a personal painting challenge. I used way more model paint than I wanted to because I am not a professional artist. My painting mixing ratio game is my mixology is
you are all over the place.
My grammar is not fantastic.
But that orange is looking good.
It is. It
I
is.
Like that orange.
We have a malfunction with this orange later. You're gonna like it.
Oh.
All right. So now we paint this SOB. Guys, I don't know why I primed in black. I do. I did it to be challenging.
Yes.
But the orange doesn't cover the black in one go. It doesn't do it.
I know, because I distinctly remember you were like, hey, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this even harder on myself. And I'm like, but why?
So later in the video, I actually break my rules, but then I unbreak them almost instantly.
Because you can't help yourself?
Well, and I'll say it now. I did silver on his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's still a ranger. His morpher should be silver and gold, and his face should be silver. But then when I started putting the silver on their mouthpieces, I said, screw it. They're a 5-color challenge. And I stopped. I don't know why they're silver on his mouthpiece.
So are you telling me that here Skull is coming in to be the good little...
Yeah, his suit's not even pressed, Bree. His suit, it doesn't fit right.
You know what?
You know what? Jason Narvi and Paul Schreier did not like these Rangers anyway.
That's true. They were not pleased
at Ranger Stop Atlanta. We specifically heard them get pretty riled up over the orange and purple Ranger, which I didn't even consider the skull aspect of it. But Paul Schreier was not too happy with the purple Ranger because he said they made him a big fat pig.
Yeah,
you see it for the first time, and we grew up in the 90s where a lot of things that were not appropriate flew as jokes, and sometimes we have to remember it's 2021 now and say, you know what, that's right, as a kid that wasn't funny, we really shouldn't be fat-shaming Volk and making him the pig ranger. And then he pointed out something about Jason Narvi, and it's that Jason Narvi has a large nose. So they made him a parrot.
He's not a parrot.
He is.
He's a chicken.
Featherdactyl. He's a parrot. Anyway,
it wasn't great.
We paint our orange.
It wasn't great.
We paint our orange, and then we set it aside to dry. And this is about the point where I decided it wasn't enough to do skull. You got to do bulk with skull.
Because
I wasn't going to do them together. I was going to separate them. This is the beginning of our Halloween month.
Yep.
We're going to do
our spooky
month. So we need to mix up some colors for bulk. That's red and blue, right? Is that easy, right?
It should be.
It's not that easy. This is. I learned something about color that I didn't know. I've been painting for 20 years. I don't mix colors that much.
That's an awful shade.
So it had a lot of blue still hiding in it. So I added more red. This doesn't go well. This is your spoiler. This does not go well. And I'm going to show you how catastrophic it is. And then I'm going to show you how I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
But this is the beginning of our Halloween series here. We've got some Halloween-themed miniatures coming all month long. And Bulk and Skull were kind of our first 2 weeks planned because... even though the traditional Halloween colors are orange and black, over the years, green and purple have kind of been integrated into orange, into the Halloween colors with orange and black. And no, I'm not doing a Green Ranger this month.
I tried so hard, guys.
We did a Tommy recently, and he's a monster, although that would be appropriate for Halloween. And we're not doing a Tommy this month.
Chris, what are you making on the screen right now?
It's blue and red.
No, it ain't.
It is.
No, it ain't.
It is. And this is catastrophic.
That's mud.
It's
you made
so
mud.
bad. Why
Congratulations.
Guys, this section of video is really long. I wasted a lot of paint here.
You wasted so much paint, and that is a
I didn't even have any gamer juice while I was doing this. So the
You know that your son has actually pooped a color like that before, right?
I can't say I catalog his poop color as closely as you do, but now I know he is the shit ranger. So I decided it wasn't dark enough. So here's where I added some black.
Because you didn't have enough mud on the thing?
I don't know what I was thinking.
More mud?
You know, it's again, I said this about the orange. I made some little funny face.
You were like, blip, blip, blip.
So I said this about the orange. The color is not 100% true to what it looks like in real life. It's not far off.
That looks...
It's terrible.
Awful.
So I thought maybe there's too much red in it, so I added more blue. I ended up getting a color, so now I decided there's too much blue in it, so I added a bunch of red. There's no measurements here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a color engineer, a color imagineer. That's
nope.
Now Disney's after me. So now I decided there's too much red in it. This is terrible. I'm only playing this whole clip because I want you to see how badly this went. And then
now you're adding
I don't even
red.
know what I was doing at this point.
Why?
I want to show you how bad this was, so I can show you what I can fix it.
You made brick.
It's so bad.
That's brick red.
Actually, it came out almost plum colored in real life.
It was very plummy.
I thought of Clue. I thought of Christopher Lloyd.
There you go.
So I said, screw it. Let's paint this on him. Maybe it dries different.
It don't.
Guys, it doesn't dry different.
Spoiler.
Actually, it dries more brown. He looked like the UPS Ranger. That's UPS, right? Brown, or is that FedEx?
No, brown is what brown can do for you.
This episode not sponsored by UPS or FedEx. Guys, I'm painting your color here. Maybe you should be sponsoring Crotone Entertainment.
Don't.
We are willing to sell out for your package delivery. We will handle your package, UPS.
Wow.
I don't know what came over me there. I'm not even drunk.
The fact that you're doing this.
This is terrible.
This is such a bad color.
It's so bad.
What did you do?
Here's what I learned.
Who did you hurt?
Here's what I learned. Primary colors aren't necessarily primary when you're dealing with paint pigments.
I mean, I could have told you.
Blues, reds, and yellows all have a bias towards another one of the primary colors.
Yes.
This red tone that I used had a bias.
I like that you just walked away from it.
Oh, no, we're back to Skull. I had to clean my wet palette because there was so much moisture on it. It bled the brown into Skull's orange. I could not do a second coat of Skull's orange.
What are you making?
I'm making new orange. You remember the last time I made the orange? I needed a lot more yellow than red?
Yes.
So I just decided to add the yellow now. So I learned that this red clearly has a strong yellow bias, which actually means when I mixed it with blue, I was never going to make purple. I was always going to make brown, because brown comes from a mix between red, blue, and yellow. So bulk is literally impossible with this paint palette to make the color suit we need.
But couldn't you just? I mean, you said you were going to use any red.
Well, my personal challenge was a 5 palette color for Skull. I didn't necessarily say I was going to do it for bulk, so I really haven't broken my own challenge that much. But I did have to make an audible because it's literally impossible to do what I was shooting for. So I'm just giving Skull a second coat of orange here, something that's going to cover up all the black underneath.
Yeah.
He looks terrible. One thing I will say about this, with this color mixing experiment, I didn't get as sharp of a gradient as I normally get. So Skull actually doesn't photograph well. When you actually look at the miniature, he looks fine.
Okay.
But when you photograph him, you lose some of the gradients visible in him. It's kind of bizarre.
When you photograph him, I'm going to...
You're going to photograph him well. I took like 5 photos and said, screw it, I'm done. So we're coming back, and now I've mixed a new purple.
A purple.
So you see, I tried a couple different things.
And you just gave up and tried a different red?
I said, this red's not working, and I moved the camera a whole bunch.
Okay.
And I said, this red's not working. Let me use a different color. And do I show the color here? Yes, I do. I swapped it out for a magenta.
Ooh, because magenta does have more actually blue in it to begin with.
It has a more blue bias. So I did a little blue with the magenta with a little black because I needed a dark base coat.
Right. Because you didn't like the poop?
I did not care for the poop. It was bad.
The poop angered you?
It was a rage poop, yes. So look at this. Look at this stark color difference between this dark purple.
Wow.
This is huge. Actually, this looks very similar to the dark, it's called dark blue, but it's really more of a purple done by Vallejo Game Color. This looks very, very similar to that, and I like that color.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is...
if you hadn't gone crazy and decided that you were going to screw yourself...
So we added a color for bulk. I'd say we took out a color, but we added a color because the red is going to come back later.
No, it comes back.
The red shall return.
The red shall return, but not in the form of
my chair is squeaking.
Well, then don't do what you're doing.
No, I prefer to do that.
Yeah, okay.
It's part of my stream of consciousness video making.
I mean,
I am continuing to go for most unprofessional YouTuber. Hey, I forgot to put transitions in these. I'm going to do it after the recording, and it's going to shorten the video, and now some of our talking is probably going to be off kilter.
Oh, great.
So we're going back to Skullsy here, and we're adding some more yellow because we want to brighten up this orange.
Okay.
And then we add some more yellow.
Because we're crazy people who
I don't remember how many times I did this. I'm actually reminding myself of how many times I added colors by watching this video.
And you're going,
as we record. Because I don't really edit or write scripts. There are no scripts, guys. So I lighten it up, and I'm going to highlight him. You can tell me what you're thinking in just a second, but I'm going to highlight him the way I've highlighted miniatures in the past. The absolute deepest areas are going to stay the darker orange, and the raised areas are going to be the lighter orange. Now, in Skull, there are actually a lot of raised areas because they decorated him to be so baggy clothed.
Right.
Now, his helmet doesn't have a lot of good gradients like other Ranger helmets do. It doesn't have a lot of defined lines. Kind of swoops into itself. The helmet, I feel, is lacking. Now, I could have gone back later to the helmet and added a bunch to it and really made it pop. But again, as I've said 437,000 times, this is everyman painting. We're not out to make this super perfect. So what is it
not every man should ever go through and do what you did to get to these
colors. Oh, no, I spent a lot of money on paint.
Yeah. We're going to have to definitely run up
We're going to have to replace some of these paints.
Yeah.
We're going to have to replace some of these paints. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a video on hobby stores one day. So anyway, there's Skullsy. You can see the dark orange in there. So you can see it on the camcorder. Who says camcorder? You can see it on the video.
Apparently there.
You can't really see it in the photo. So now we're going to go back to Bulkster. So with Bulkster, we're going to actually add some white to this dark purple.
Okay.
And by the way, the reason I cleaned my parchment paper in the palette rather than replacing it is I can't find my parchment paper. So now the purple's too darn bright. So now we're going to pull some of this kind of pre-mixed color from over here, and we're going to bring it over to try to darken it up. We're going to try a couple things to make this a shade I would like, because I added way too much white. So there's a little too much of a red bias. I think. I don't know. I don't actually know how colors work. So add some blue. Now we're going to add some magenta.
I like the fact that you actually live with somebody who used to be paint mixing certified through Sherwin-Williams.
No, it's way better.
And you didn't at any point go, "Hey, Bree,
no, it's way better.
Could you come check this out?"
I was painting this at 5:30 in the morning. That's where I get my hobby time in, guys. We have 2 Crotoni spawn running around the house and several idiot dogs. My painting time is like 5 to 5:30 in the morning before I go to work, and on weekends when everybody's asleep. So I can't go running to Bree.
You should have. This should have been
over here, I said this purple's not working at all, and I made a new batch of purple.
Oh my god, you hurt my soul. We went through so much paint.
You know, my favorite part of this video, of all the videos we do, is
what?
Some people think I know what I'm doing. I've seen comments on Discord, on Twitter, on Facebook that imply I know what I'm doing. I am just as lost as the rest of everybody.
Clearly, with this whole thing. What are you doing?
I'm making purple.
Oh my god, you hurt my soul.
So, yeah, I use a lot of paint. So anyway, here goes more. Anyway, the point is, I am, 20 years of painting, I'm not more qualified than anybody else. You know what I am? I'm not afraid to experiment.
I mean, that's for darn Skippy.
I'm not afraid to screw up.
Apparently. By the way, your parchment paper is sitting right over there.
Oh, right. Guys,
we found bad radio,
we found my parchment paper. We found my parchment paper, but it is very important to notice that hold on. It's like 3 inches outside of my arm's reach from my chair. So I couldn't have used it anyway. Guys, my chair has wheels.
You hurt my soul. You hurt my soul so bad.
My chair. I need a new chair. This chair is so old, but it's still so comfy. I bought this chair do I have this chair before we moved in together?
Oh God, no.
Time to highlight bulk.
Finally.
Yeah, here we go. Look at that purple.
I don't like that purple.
I don't like you.
Okay.
Somebody's going to mention that.
Wow. Okay.
The resentment. We've got the resentment. So this is basically the highest level purple I used. And I'm going to reach over and I'm going to grab the actual finished bulk and show it to Bree. It dries well, doesn't it?
Oh, it does dry well.
It dries well. You guys will see it in a couple minutes here. But it dries much better than it looks like.
Yep, it does.
So, anyway, we're just highlighting bulk the way we highlight things, like we do.
I'm still not sure, though, why you actually colored his belly.
Bulk has no butt.
Bulk has no butt? Bulk, come here. Bulk, he has a
Bulk has no butt.
butt.
Bulk has no butt. I'm gonna reach out to Paul Schreier and ask him what happened to his butt.
That's not
because I have a direct line to Paul Schreier, right?
No.
Yeah. So okay, it's time for some gray.
You won't guess.
So we have, and I got rid of the wet palette.
Why so much white? It's titanium.
It's fine. It's fine. Is it dangerous for me to lick my brush after using white paint?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a hard metal in there that makes white.
So I've been doing it for like 20 years.
Oh, God. Guys, could you maybe, like, if we ever started a Patreon, could you just help me out? Because eventually I'm probably going to have to pay for Chris's cancer treatments.
It's fine.
Because
it's fine if I
eating hard metals.
Yes, but if I eat enough, I'll become immune to it. Like iocane powder. What's
iocane powder?
Iocane powder.
No, you are not the Dread Pirate Roberts.
I disagree.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Maybe I'll kill you. Maybe I'll kill you in the morning. So anyway, I made a really, really light gray because they're Mighty Morphin Rangers. Well, most Rangers have white on them, but they're Mighty Morphin Rangers. They've got white boots, white gloves, and white chests. And I don't. And I threw. You know what? He made
throw a skull
because he makes me so angry. Anyway, wow! Did I just skip to the end there?
I did.
So anyway, I did. So bad.
So you gave everybody a little paint
so I colored in all their white, but it's actually a very, very light gray. It kind of looks a little. Guys, my computer wants to update. It says
restart right now.
Restart to install the latest Windows updates. You know what? Screw you, computer. You're not the boss of me. Anyway. I painted them this very light gray so I can do a white on top of it and, again, have a little definition between the two colors. Just kind of a little bit of that shading aspect to it. Mm-hmm. So that's exactly what I did. And then we'll just go straight to our white. Again, it does not matter what white I am using, guys. That is irrelevant.
Except maybe don't use a really thin one because it means that you're going to be at it forever.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the thinner you make. Now, again, as always, I put some white in the palette, and I am wetting my paintbrush before I do it, and so it is thinned.
It's thinned, but it's not the same as you're going at it with that crazy, really thin white paints that you're like 6 coats later, you finally have what you think might be a nice white coat.
Well, I mean, if you really want to make a beautiful miniature, you're going to do that. If you want to paint like us, why? But you do it kind of the way we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing an everyman technique. An every person technique, I should say.
Yes, because
No, it's an everyman technique, because I'm going to just put it out there and say it. Oh, guys, I got a privacy update from OneDrive. It says I want to learn how to protect my OneDrive I don't care.
You could turn off your notifications so they don't pop up while we're recording.
Oh, no, this is way funnier. So I'm going back to everyman, and I'm going to put it out there. Bree kind of looks taken aback when I said everyman instead of every person. I'm going to put it out there. Some of the best hobbyists I see out there on the interwebs are women. Y'all make some fantastic freaking models, and I'm way too damn lazy to try to chase that. So it's everyman because we're lazy.
I mean, okay, I'll accept that.
Okay.
I will accept that. Yep.
So, I mean, it's everyman and beginner woman is what these videos are.
Okay.
So, like, they're...
Because a woman is eventually going to be like, why did you waste so much paint?
Well, I mean, they're going to say other horrible things about me, I'm sure. So, anyway, we did our white all over the Bulkster and all over the Skullsy, or the Bulk Skull. And now we're going back, and it's red time. Because Skull has a red handkerchief.
Yes, he does.
Bulk does not have any red on him from the reference photos I saw.
He doesn't.
So we're going to put red on him.
Why?
Because I want to tie him in with Skull.
Oh, okay.
And he has that, that pig fro thing going on.
Yeah.
And I thought the pig fro would pop if it was red. And in most of the reference photos I looked at, it's the same purple as the rest of the suit. And that's boring.
That is boring.
So I did it red.
And honestly, if you look at most pigs, their little ridges are not the same color as the rest of their fur.
I mean, this is accurate. So I did it red to tie him in with his buddy.
That's nice.
I mean, so they're like BFF.
They are absolutely life partners forever and always. They are. I will say that for a generation that learned to adore bromances, a la JD and Turk.
You know what? Here's my offensive comment of the day. JD and Turk is a weak sauce bromance.
They were still a bromance.
They were weak sauce bromance. You want real bromances? You got Bulk and Skull. You got Chief O'Brien and Dr. Bashir.
I mean, that is that's what we named our kids for, so.
Yeah, I mean, well, don't tell anybody. That's kind of messed up. Just don't admit that.
Yeah.
I mean, we admit that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
But I mean, you got Trip and Malcolm.
Oh.
You got, I mean, this Eugene and his hats.
Really? You don't even remotely go for
I do not. So here's that silver I promised. A little bit of iron breaker on the face mask. Then I decided, why am I doing this? And
because
I didn't.
It would have made them look like everybody else.
Well, I could have done it. I could have. Well, when you got the models at tabletop level, you can't see that anyway.
I really did have to just pull that in real close.
It doesn't matter. That's also why I didn't go down and do their morphers that way. I posted photos of these guys on Discord, maybe? I don't remember where.
Twitter.
No, I think it was Discord where somebody said it.
Oh.
And somebody says to me, why are their morphers not silver and gold? Because shut up, that's why. If you're a listener, I apologize. No, I meant it. No, it's because of what I exactly answered with. I was trying to do a minimal color challenge, and the only reason I even did their mouthpiece of silver is because you almost dropped your phone.
I did.
Bree dropped her phone, guys.
I did.
What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm doing black.
You're doing more black.
I thought I was mixing something into it. That was just a drop of water I put into it.
When are you going to do his fleshy flesh?
I'm going to get to it. So my problem, I've said this before, I have a problem with the Vallejo black. It's not my favorite black. If you watch the video about my painting diary, painting journal, painting log.
We talked about it.
It has a different shade.
Yep.
And I've said in previous videos that while I love the Vallejo white, especially because, and I've never said this in a video, but I'm going to say it out loud right now, come at me, GW, Games Workshop Citadel whites are, without hyperbole, the worst thing ever invented in this timeline or all other realities in the multiverse. Their whites are terrible. Now, their Abaddon black is actually quite good. I don't like this Vallejo black. It leaves a weird sheen. But I was working with all Vallejo paints this time because I kind of said, screw Games Workshop paints today. And I made the mistake of putting a little water in this paint, which actually gave me not great coverage on their eyepieces. I did go back later. I think I did it off camera, and I touched up their eye lenses. But it did make it pretty good for painting their bases, because I did get a little white bleeding over on the bases. You can actually see the shininess on this model.
He is
especially on his base. So we're doing the radio thing where I'm showing her the finished model here, guys.
Yeah, it's real good.
But you can kind of see
shiny on his base.
Well, his purple is shiny too. All of them is actually shiny. I haven't sealed him yet. When I put the matte varnish on it, that's going to change a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shininess in Vallejo model paints, and I'm not sure why. And these are actually the game colors. With the exception of Bulk's magenta, these are the game colors. So it didn't quite pan out exactly the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. So now we're just going to go with our straight red, and we're going to highlight Skull's bandana. So we're just going to put a little red on it. I'm going to leave the deepest parts, that darker red that we did, just kind of give it a little pop. As I've said many times, you can keep adding a lighter color to this, or keep going to lighter shades to keep doing progressive highlights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Because you're doing the 5 color challenge.
Well, no, I don't do it on the other minis either, and part of that's because I have literally hundreds of minis in my backlog. If I spent 4 or 5 highlights on every single color, every single mini I painted, I would never finish a model.
I mean, that's legit, considering how many unfinished armies you have lying around this room.
That's not the point. The point is, you can keep going on this, and you can make it as elaborate as you want.
You can.
I choose not to. I'm doing the same thing with Bulk. There's a lot of texture on these pig hairs, I guess.
It's his little
this
piggy hawk.
Bacana hawk.
His little piggy hawk.
His Bacana hawk.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to leave depth in these because you just put the red on the raised area, and there's this little pig tail. I see what I did there. This is
good radio.
I'm gonna need some gamer juice. So we're gonna add a little white to this red. Because we're making a pink.
For his little piggy nose.
For his little piggy. You've been holding. She's been holding the model, guys.
And it's for his little piggy nose. Little piggy nose.
Oh, I did the silver on his tusks too.
Well, I mean, yeah. Why not?
So just little piggy nose.
Little piggy nose.
I honestly don't remember what the reference color of that nose is for the photos. I didn't care. We talked about this before with power weapons. I didn't care. So the same thing with Bulk's helmet. I didn't care. So now it's time to make some flesh.
Fleshy flesh.
Flesh is based on brown. All human flesh has all 3 primary colors in it. The question is, how much of each primary color is in your flesh? Now, we know what Bulk looks like.
Yes.
We know he has a rather pale skin tone.
I mean...
So we need to create a brown, and then we need to lighten it up. And that's the only way we're going to do it. Now, I'm pretty happy with the final result of the flesh that I came up with.
Okay.
But man, this well is going to get deep with paint.
That's a lot of blue.
We're
2x2 hands of blue.
We're nowhere near done. Don't worry. It gets full. Here, I'm going to grab my palette.
How bad is this?
Oh, it's bad.
Is it bad? Oh, my word.
Oh, well, that's the highlighted by the time it's done. But let me pull it out of here.
Oh, that's still...
Guys, there is like... It's still wet on the bottom. I finished painting this several days ago, and I just pulled the wad of paint out of the palette well. It is still wet on the bottom. It is so thick. It is so thick. I use so much brown. How
thick is it?
It's so thick that it would won the joke.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's probably almost a quarter of an inch thick.
That is.
Look at that. It's not dry on the bottom. It's so thick it has not been able to cure all the way through in several days sitting in my palette. But Brie is now peeling the other used paint out of the palette because it deeply satisfies her. Now the orange is that's thick too. Oh, and it's still tacky. Guys, I'm getting paint on me. So I'm still adding whites and yellows.
Okay.
I'm just trying to come up with a color I'm happy with. I think I did a fairly good job by the end. I mean, I could have done a more stark highlight on him, but I think I did a pretty... So we're going to add some red to it now.
Yep.
So this is the first time I've ever done this.
Because you decided to go insane.
What triggered me to do this?
It
was somebody on Discord said something. And I said, personal challenge.
Wherever you are, don't... Okay,
Actually, I think that's the guy that we just realized lives like 30 miles away from us.
Oh. That's okay. I'm going to throw this out there to paint. You're about to
paint.
Please don't come at Chris with ideas that could be taken as a challenge.
I'm going to make a monochromatic army now that we have the one-page rule stuff.
So much because Chris takes it as a personal challenge. And then he goes into this weird, like, he must succeed mode.
Like the time we did the 50-cent craft paint Terror Toad. That looks really good.
With the 50-cent paint. Yep. Mm-hmm. Words are hard.
Oh, now we're going to add some white to it because we need a highlight now.
Of course we are.
I used a lot of paint here.
I
really have nothing of value to say in this section. Anybody who's still watching this section, which is probably only 30% of our audience, is just hearing us rant for most of this video. I used to talk about Rangers. I did. When I did these videos alone, I used to talk about what I like about a certain Ranger in the game, what I like about a certain character. Somebody commented once.
How much white?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's already over. It's already on film. You can't stop me at this point.
My God.
So somebody previously commented that they liked how I used to talk about the Rangers in game and what I liked about that particular character. And we have not done that since you joined the channel.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I'm okay with that. I rather enjoy just sitting down and ranting with you. And we always, we put these out on Monday. You all know that. You might know that. I don't actually know. It says Morphin by Monday in the title. It's 9:30 at night on Monday. This video is supposed to be out today, and we're recording this now. This is how we do it every week.
Yep.
I'm trying to get ahead.
We're trying to be better about it. We're trying to be responsible.
The last couple weeks, we've pre-scheduled the whole week on Monday, and we're doing that tonight as well.
Yes, we are.
We actually have this video and Tuesday's video ready to go. We have Thursday's video ready to go. Wednesday's video, I actually just need to slap visuals to it. The audio is recorded. And Friday's video, we're going to probably record tonight. But we got this lighter shade now that we added some white, and it looks pretty fleshy.
Yep, that would be as Spawn number 1 and I say, that would be some fleshy flesh right there. I
mean, I guess I'm kind of with Paul Schreier on this. It's kind of bullshit that they gave this 3 swears in this episode. We are demonetized. Not that we're monetized at all.
Yeah, I mean,
this episode not sponsored by Disney. The mouse wants nothing to do with us.
Oh my God! In so many ways.
Renegade Games, you can sponsor us. I'm waiting for. I'll sell out for you.
So
I don't like what they did with their suits. I feel it's a disservice to Bulk and Skull. Now, I've never read the comics where they become these Rangers, but I know that they, I think that they have to save the day. So I mixed up some new orange to paint around the rumor space like I do with all my Rangers. It's a little lighter than his other orange, so I'm going to take advantage of that momentarily.
To do another highlight?
I am. I'm going to do another highlight. It's going to be a very, very thin kind of edge highlight where I'm just going to make little streaks of this brighter orange on his clothing, kind of at the highest point of some of the folds of the clothes. I hate the folds of the clothes. I think they did a disservice to Bulk and Skull by making them baggy comedy Rangers. I think it would have been a golden opportunity for Bulk and Skull to really grow as characters, to have the true responsibility of being a true Power Ranger. If you can take Billy at the start of the show, where he allegedly has no real physical skill whatsoever, and you can show Billy becoming competent and being able to fight in a morphed form even before he's kind of really well trained by Jason, then you can show me a Bulk and Skull who get what they deserve. Because these guys...
they did everything.
I mean, I know they were kind of quasi-antagonists for the first season, but Bulk and Skull, they're the heart of the show, guys.
By the time that they go out in, what is that, the end of Space?
Well, no, I think...
Or is that Lost?
I think Bulk, it doesn't matter. I think Bulk comes back for more.
Yeah, but in Space, wait, in Space, where you get the, like, I am Spartacus scene with them, that's beautiful, guys.
Go to Zeo. You didn't see the episode. Julian and I watched it without you, but King for a Day. Bulk and Skull fight Cogs in a hilarious but effective manner, and they're helping Gold Ranger.
I mean...
have to specifically Gold Ranger because Jason deliberately does not unmorph in their presence. So they actually fight alongside, well, not really alongside, they do separate, but they fight Cogs, and they're helping Gold Ranger. It's a great episode. Bulk and Skull deserved more than they got. They did. So, yeah.
And then to here, of course, we go back to the stories and stuff that we've shared about, that we've learned from both of them, and we go, and they deserve, like, and Golden Globe or an Emmy or whichever one is for television for the work that they put in.
It's true, but remember, we still got to add in the transition, so this is going to cut the audio short.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's probably safe to say, guys, you're going to see Bulk and Skull wrapped up at about this point. Like and subscribe for more content. Hit that bell button for notifications. Thank you for joining us for episode 37 of Morphin Monday. Woo! And we will see you tomorrow with Bree Plays Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster and all the other shows we do throughout the week. And most of you will see back next Monday for Morphin Monday. And we've got more Age of the Grid coming up.
Bye!